a large group of men that I talk to, because there's just a large group of divorced men, is recently divorced men in their 40s, and in this case, it's usually late 30s, 40s, 50s, normally have a number of unique obstacles to overcome when getting back into the game. Overweight, bad posture, low energy, sallow complexion, no muscle tone, Velcro close your shoes, you're not dressed well. Outdated clothing, confidence, identity has taken a major hit. All of these are temporary shortcomings that can be fixed with direction and time. And the good thing is, just like Dan Kennedy says, do many things at one time. It's kind of like guys, the younger guys will go, should I just focus in on my career or making money and like ignore girls for the next 5 years? And I'm like, no, that's a bad idea, because you're going to end up with a little bit of money, a little bit more than you probably would have if you had dated, and no bitches. So instead, you can have some money and you can have a lot of women. So do multiple things at one time. And number one thing is, we always try to address right off the bat, because the vast majority of American men are overweight. The vast majority of American people are overweight. It really does set around 90%. The government's not going to tell you that, because then there'd have to be a reaction to that and actually change. So they say something like 30 or 40%. But if you go to the mall, you go to the airport, you'll look around, it's 9 out of 10 people. If you're in shape and fit, you're an anomaly. You're the outlier. We're the outliers. We're it, And the only reason you see other skinny people is because you like live in Boulder, Colorado, or you participate in lots of endurance sports, or, you're 22 and you're in the military, there's reasons, but the vast majority of America is fat. So overweight, that's the first thing you have to address. You start having to get the weight down, because nothing works. Your dick doesn't work. Your VO2 doesn't work. Your muscles don't work. Nothing works when you're fat. So that's the first thing to address, and it will have the most major impact on your self-confidence. Bad posture, that'll come with you getting into the gym and hitting the weights. Why do we hit the weights? There's so many different exercises you could do to actually lift weight or to rebuild your body. But lifting weights is the most direct and dramatic method we have. Low energy, your energy is going to start coming back as you start exercising regularly and improving your diet in order to unfat yourself. Sallow complexion, again, most guys have been indoors the last 30 years. So getting outside, and again, exercise itself, and you feel better, you'll get outside more often. But most people's complexion looks horrible because, one, they have no circulation, they're overweight, and their diet is trash. So you'll see this as nearly immediately when you clean up your diet, your skin will improve. And you don't even know how bad you look until it improves. And you're like, holy shit. No muscle tone, that will be fixed very quickly with weightlifting and unfatting yourself so you can actually see the muscle. Shoes and clothing. You actually kind of have to focus in and don't believe the hype. There's guys that are always like, oh, dressing well is homosexual and all that. No, there's a baseline of self-respect that you dress in a manner, and you don't have to like a jacket and a dress shirt are not necessarily your style, and that's okay, because there's a number of styles guys do, like day game style, they do nightlife, they do like Harley bike rider. I mean, there's all these styles, or I guess that's the right word, is style. But you find what works best. There's rock star. I mean, like if you look at Rollo does not wear that. He looks like a rock star. He is, that's his persona. So he looks more like a rock star. He looks more like a guy in a band than a guy that boots up a laptop every day to work from a coffee shop. So, you have to find what works for you, and you can try a couple different things until you're like comfortable in your own skin. Confidence and identity have taken a major hit, and a lot of this is fake it till you make it. You have to become irrationally self-confident in order to move forward, and that will come with time. And you won't always have the evidence in front of you to have that confidence, but you have to fake it anyway. All of these are temporary shortcomings that can be fixed with direction and time. You can do all of this, at least get, a foothold within 3 to 6 months after a divorce. The faster you start moving, the less you wallow around in your own misery, the better off you'll be, because it can become a morass. You want to hit the ground. There's no recovery period. Men don't need recovery periods. They need to get to work. They need action. Women, they can do whatever. They're already riding dick the day of the divorce is signed, if not before. And that's their recovery period. That's their hobby. That's what they do, is replacing you. So you have to put that out of your mind. There's no grace period. You need to get to work if you want to feel better about yourself. And the girls, well, that's an entire world of its own, but this is mostly for you, because the better you feel about yourself, the better you'll come across the world and the more you can get done. But that's the real deal with divorce recovery, is a lot of it is a physical manifestation and getting to work physically, so you can get some outcomes. And it's usually pretty quick. Guys are built for action. And if you're overweight and you're never out in the sun and you have no muscle tone, a lot of it's because you haven't been taking action for the last decade or two. So that's the real deal.